Alright, boys and girls, welcome to the dreaded deep bunker shot to a short pin. So I have my water bottle set up and I have my other camera so you guys can kind of see how the ball reacts. Again, it is winter time, so you know the sand is kind of hard, kind of frozen, so I will have to change my technique slightly, but I'm going to talk you through all that. But today we're going to discuss how to get out of a deep bunker to a short-sided pin that's running away from you. And essentially we're going to call this bunkering 401. So this is the shot you see on tour, and the announcers are always saying, hey, this is a shot he can hole. Well, the reason for that being is it is a lot of technique, guys, and there's a lot of different ways to accomplish the technique. I like to use a lot of wrist action at the bottom. Okay, so as I'm coming into the strike, I release my wrist just like you would a flop shot. You know, you look at a guy like Collin Morikawa, he just pulls the club across his body. Scotty Scheffler kind of does the same thing, but there's a million ways to do this. Essentially what you want to master is the technique, and you know, everybody can master it differently, so you will have to go out and practice this, but it is an advanced technique, and I'd say for anyone that's interested in a technique like this, you got to practice. So you got to be a practicer just like the rest of us. All right, so I'm going to kind of land it just on the backside of that hill. Worst case, I'm a little short, it bounces forward. I'm a little long and it spins, and I've just got maybe a touchy downhill putt. But, you know, that's kind of the course management you would have with this particular shot. And essentially for the most advanced golfers, we're really just thinking about holing it, because we're going to think specifically about hitting a landing spot with a certain amount of spin. So in bunkering 301, I explained you want to hit really close to the ball. Well, the same holds true anytime you're deep in the bunker. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to combine the downhill bunkering 301, which is backward shaft lean, open face, and hitting bunkering 201, which is hitting very close to the ball. So it looks a little something like this. And essentially I'm aiming, we're going to say I'm aiming right over this golf ball here. That's pretty good. So make sure you're aiming over your primary target so that your line is perpendicular to your target. You know, draw your line if you're not comfortable yet. And I'm digging in the sand here, guys, and I'm feeling there is no sand at all. So because it's so frozen, we're gonna go pretty steep. The steeper I go, the more downward attack angle I have, the more the ball is actually gonna come out of the sand, believe it or not. If I'm too thin with it, it'll come out really low because the top of the club face will catch the ball. What we're essentially trying to do is hit a flop shot out of the sand. Okay, so we're aimed at our targets. Notice the ball position is fairly forward off my stance, given that my target line is actually right here. So that'll give you ball position. And then, like I said, you know, I'm just gonna make sure that club stays behind the ball, the club shaft, so that I promote a shot up out of the deep bunker. And because we don't have much sand, it's gonna be a pretty steep swing. Let's see what we can do here. And there you go, a little long, not too bad, but that was the first one. And again, I'm just kind of adjusting to the sand here. That is a very frozen bunker. That's gonna hurt tomorrow. Whew. All right, so we'll do it again. Not gonna hit a whole lot of these guys. I don't love practicing out of the bunker in the winter, but you guys have asked for it, so I'm doing my best to accommodate. All right, so back here, like so. We're gonna lift it, really throw that club underneath it. Just like so. So that's a much better shot, and as you can see, I'm about three feet from the hole. So let's say we're on the downhill lie, or it's a little more complex. That's kind of in a hole. There we go, something like that. So I mean, everything is set up so that everything's running away from me, right? So how do I manage this? So how do I manage all the physics and the inertia and the gravity pulling me downward and away from my target, which is over here? Well, essentially what we have to do is we have to set up like we did over there when we were hitting the downhill running away shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to aim our club face just slightly right at the target. Actually, yeah, because the ball is above my feet here. Even though it's downhill, it's above my feet. So we're going to aim slightly right of our target, and we're just going to swing with an open stance, but aiming slightly right of our target so inertia and everything works together. And again, we got to be steep today because the sand is frozen, but if it wasn't frozen, we would be more shallow. And I want you to notice I'm hitting maybe a 1/4 inch from the ball, maybe. It's very close. Just like so. Go in the hole. Oh, almost. So yeah, that's about as good as you're gonna do out of a downhill lie where the sand is, I mean, you hear that? That is rock hard underneath. And so what do you do when you're on an uphill slope? And guys, I see you guys chili dip these all the time where you'll come in to hit it, you'll jab into the sand. I mean, it'll come out right here, roll right back in the bunker. For you guys, just understand you're hitting way too far behind the ball. With these shots, you really want to hit it right underneath the ball, just like you would a chip shot. The key though, guys, is just lean with the hill. It's not complex. Just lean with the hill, hit a chip shot. There you go. That's all you gotta do. It's so simple a caveman could do it. But just understand, you're hitting very close to it. So let's talk a little bit about what happens if you don't lean with the hill. Well, if you're going like this and you're going forward, you're going to hit it too low. And that's going to happen. If you lean too far, right? So now doing this, we're going to hit behind it. It's going to come out really high. It's not going to get to the hole. So make sure the key is with these, is I want you to feel very balanced. Okay, so very, very balanced. So as you're leaning with the hill, everything should feel balanced. And if you want to get kind of cute with it, you can hit maybe a 1/2 inch behind the ball, take a little sand, and just let it flop out, just like so. So you just ensure that you don't hit it short. That's another way of doing it. But no matter what you do with all of these shots, understand that if you're not leaning properly with the hill, so on this one we're just slightly uphill, you're not going to be able to keep the club on plane, so the inertia and the physics are going to be off, and you're going to have to use a lot of hand action and hand-eye coordination to hit the shot. But if we're leaning with the hill appropriately, it comes out super, super good. Almost goes in the hole, you know? So work with this, guys. Again, hitting out of a deep bunker isn't hard. What makes it hard is you're not hitting close enough to the ball. You're not moving the ball forward enough in your stance. You're not opening the club enough, and you're not reverse shaft leaning it enough. So work with all of these angles, all of these ball positions until you figure it out for yourself. And so good luck with this, guys, and like, comment, subscribe.